Hey guys, it's Sarah here. In this video, I'm going to be going over how to find preceptors as a nurse practitioner student. If you're a nurse practitioner student yourself watching this, then you know it's really hard to find a preceptor. And if you're not a nurse practitioner student yet, I'm just telling you that's probably one of the hardest stuff for a nurse practitioner student is to find preceptors to cover their hours that they need. The reason why, there's many reasons, but number one, a lot of doctors have medical students or residents themselves, so they can't take you. The only other person you could shadow, besides for a doctor, is a nurse practitioner. Many nurse practitioners themselves are under doctors or in a facility that don't allow it. They don't want it because it slows the nurse practitioner down. They don't want it because they don't want someone else coming in, looking at the medical record and stuff like that. And they don't gain anything from it, honestly. So it's very hard to find preceptors. So this is why I'm making the video. So here are some tips that I used, and I hope it helps you. It doesn't guarantee you find a preceptor, but it will help you. The first tip I have for you is networking from other students. And what I mean by that is that go to people from the previous years, not someone who graduated 20 years ago. So go to someone who recently graduated a year or 2 years ago and ask them, say, I know I can't shadow you, but do you have someone that you use that I could go ahead and ask, or you could ask for me? And then in that way, people who graduated have to have had preceptors in order to be a nurse practitioner now. So they accept students for one, and it's just a matter of getting in. And they're usually going to be someone near you because the person that you're going to ask is usually going to be someone near you. Number two is networking, but personal networking. And I don't mean asking your brother or your uncle. What I mean is that, let's just say you have kids, right? So you're going to your pediatrician's office. So then when you're there in front of the doctor, ask yourself. Be like, oh, by the way, I'm also in nurse practitioner school. Do you think I could shadow you? Maybe a little awkward if he says no, but it's worth a try. Or if you're pregnant, go to your OB once you're there anyways for a visit and be like, hey, is it possible I could shadow you? Or stuff like that. You could also ask people, because everyone's going to be a nurse going into nurse practitioner school, so ask people at work. Ask the cardiologist you saw, ask the nurse practitioner you saw, ask people that you see at work, and usually work is the easiest because your work doesn't mind if you come. But a lot of nurse practitioner schools don't allow you to do at work. So if they don't, then go to your OB, your pediatrician, your regular primary care doctor, and ask them once you're there. The reason why that's also good is because you're face-to-face with them. It's easy when you call, let's say, a doctor's office and you say, hi, can I precept? And then, can I shadow? Then a lot of times they'll just tell you, no, we don't accept students, bye. But if you're in front of a doctor themselves, they're not going to just be like, bye. They'll say an excuse or whatever, but they won't be that quick to be like, bye, hang up the phone. So that's why I highly suggest you ask in person. And if you are going to go to your thing, don't show up in sandals, you know what I mean? Like, dress appropriately and then ask. Number three is Facebook groups. So there are actually Facebook groups that there are people who are willing to precept and people who are looking to precept that you could post on, and you could ask someone, I live in this area, anyone have this amount of hours, and hopefully someone will get back to you. But besides for Facebook groups that have that, you could also ask on regular nurse practitioner Facebook groups, and you could ask, and then other students could say like, oh, I use this person, how about that person? My next option is, it's usually the last resort, is to pay a preceptor. They have these sites like NP Hub or Preceptor Point, and I'm sure there's many more of them, that basically they give you a list of preceptors that they're affiliated with and the locations and what they are, if they're women's health, pediatric, etc. You pay them a certain amount. Usually the price is, I would say, like $1,600 for 135 hours or something like that. It's quite pricey, but you know what? It's an investment the same way you're paying tuition. It's unfortunate we have to do this, but because we do, that's an option. It's like the last resort if you can't find anything. My next tip is that there are certain sites that actually have preceptors. So if you go to CVS, I'm not sure the link or anything, but you could type in CVS nurse practitioner students, and it will come up. Actually, it's an application you apply for whenever you want, and if you get it, you go for an interview, and if you get it, that is great because you could shadow in CVS. And last but not least, you can network by, there's something called ENP network, or you can go on LinkedIn and you could see someone who's in your area and message them on LinkedIn and say, hi, introduce yourself very professionally. Hi, I'm a nurse practitioner student. I'm in this university. I need whatever. Is it possible you could shadow me, or you could precept me, or know anyone that could? So those are my tips for you. Obviously, the only one that's actually guaranteed is when you pay a preceptor, because that guarantees you a preceptor. But it won't guarantee that they will be next to you. You could be traveling very far and you don't know who this preceptor is. So I really hope you can find yourself a preceptor. I know it's very hard, but we all graduate and we all find ourselves preceptors. Don't stress out too much, and good luck. Please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and stay tuned for more. And if you have any more questions or suggestions for a video, put it in the comment section below. Bye.